Hello, everyone, and welcome to the next session of From Nothing, Lorna's story. Now, last time you met the Master,
Mm-hmm.
and you spent some time showing her around. You watched as she obliterated Lilith. You showed her what you had learned how to do. And then, after she parted ways, you knowingly dodged her tail that she'd set to stay with you.
Well, when you put it that way, it sounds bad.
Mm-hmm.
It was Tier's idea.
Was it? Uh, Today, we resume as you awaken on a Sunday morning. At about 7 o'clock, the suns are rising, lights coming, casting in through the frosted window. The day is yours, at least for now.
Haim is in one of the vacant beds.
You look over, and she is unconscious.
I should get her up. Or I should see the master with. No, her whole thing is be bodyguarding me, so sneaking out without her would be stupid. I'm gonna go over to her and shake her awake. Tame.
Tame stirs awake with a sudden jolt.
Oh, please don't hit me.
She doesn't hit you, but she is awake suddenly, and she says, "What? What? Oh. Ah.
Good morning.
Good morning."
Sorry. I have a relatively important thing that I need to do, and I don't know when. Sooner the better. So good morning.
Morning. All right. And she's like rubbing her face. And she looks at you and she says, "So what's the plan?"
I don't actually know. Um, that woman who I was with the other day, yesterday.
Uh-huh.
Was that yesterday? Jeez. Feels like it's been weeks. Um, I'm supposed to meet her, but she didn't say when and where. She just said today. Uh, so I think we're going to the Mary Guard.
All
That's
right.
all right.
I guess I don't. It's your call. So.
I'll buy you breakfast.
All right. We don't want to. Oh. All right. And she like sits up, rubbing her face, and she picks up her great axe from the wall, and you hear the.
You said it was wedged in the door.
Okay.
I
She
remember
pulls
this.
it out of the door and
Yes.
slides it into the sheath on her back, and she says, "Lead the way."
Okay, I'm gonna get presentable. I'm gonna do put a little more like I did the other day. Put a little more effort into my appearance because the master seemed to like that, I think. She said she was happy we dressed up, but I can't really read her, so I don't know if she's being sarcastic, but she said it with her mouth, so I'm going to just go with that.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna lead the way.
You're going straight to the Mary Guard?
Yeah, I don't feel like dallying is in my best interest right now.
All right. You head down to the tavern, just down the road. As you do, roll me a D100, please.
Okay.
You sound so nervous.
I am nervous. 52.
Okay. One moment.
Some might say incredibly nervous.
Okay. One moment, please.
I wait with bated breath.
The tavern is fairly busy in this morning. As you... Where's my tavern splash? Oy. Breakfast is being served to many people before they go into work on this Sunday morning. Roll me a perception check.
I'm really good at those. Requiem is a snake, by the way.
Got it.
Wow, a natural one.
Okay.
Lorna's quaking in her boots.
Lorna's having a rough time this morning. All right. As you and Tame head into the Merry Guard, you find a table. You order yourself some breakfast, and as you are seating there, Tame looks at you and she says, "You look terrified."
Uh, you, I'm trying to think of an excuse that makes sense, but it's not coming to me. Yes, I am very afraid.
From behind you, you hear, "Now what is it that you could be so afraid of? Hmm?"
I think Lorna would just the first note of a high-pitched squeal would escape her lips before she kind of wrangled that back in, and she would look over her shoulder, and I'm assuming she would see a familiar face.
Yeah, right behind you, standing tall with her arms folded across her chest, is the Master.
Good morning.
Good morning, Miss Halloweth. Her friend?
This
Tame
is Tame.
Tame looks up at the Master. Morning. You may call me Hale. And Tame says, "All right, Hale." There's an awkward moment as Tame is looking up at her. The Master runs two fingers across the top of your back, right along your shoulders, and then sits down next to you and says, "Really, what is it you could be afraid of?"
Had a really weird dream last night, and I haven't quite woken up yet, which is a lie.
Well, I heard an interesting story.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
I love stories.
Tame, do you mind if me and Miss Halloweth talk shop? And Tame says, "I don't know what that means, so do what you gotta do." An impressionable one. Good. Well, Miss Halloweth, after your breakfast, I require that you meet me in my room. B3.
Of course. I'll be right up.
Good. She nods at Tame, stands up. Enjoy your meal.
Does she seem angry?
Roll
Can
an
I read
insight
anything
check.
on her face? I doubt it, but maybe. Okay, I rolled pretty good.
Well,
I didn't. I
it
can't remember.
didn't show up in the
That's weird.
foundry. What'd
I
you roll?
rolled a 23.
With a 23, her voice is definitely a little clipped.
Mmm.
She does
Maybe
not.
she's just not a morning person.
Okay. Whatever it is that you order for breakfast, allow me a moment and I will roll to see.
Grapes, of course.
Crepes. Well, the crepes at the Merryguard are the best in town, as you
Yum.
enjoy them with fruit and syrups, and you gain 9 temporary hit points.
Thank God, because I think I'm gonna need them. Uh-huh.
After you eat breakfast and Tame is looking at you, Tame says, "All right, so what is the deal here?"
I don't know. I don't know what she wants. Um, do I see Lilith just anywhere? Any
Roll investigation.
any clipped horn? Because I know she told us both to meet her here, I think.
With an 18? No.
Yeah, okay, so I'm alone. Okay. I don't really know what's gonna happen. Uh, stay down here?
All right. Scream if you need me.
Oh, you'll hear it. Or you won't, because I'll be dead. So she'll just stand up, give Tame one last just look
Okay.
of abject terror, and then go upstairs.
All right. You go upstairs to room B3.
Maybe she'll be impressed I lost that tail, and she's
Third
just gonna reward me.
Third door on the left. Second floor. As you enter room B3, you... Well... You don't... Well, the door's not locked. So as you open the door, I assume, or do you knock? I don't mean to take your agency away.
I think she would knock. She's very polite.
When you knock, you hear, "Come in." And as you enter the room, you do see Lilith.
Change.
You do see Lilith in here. Lilith is seated on one of the beds. This room has 2 large beds in it. You see Lilith looks thoughtful. Her face is healing. It doesn't look nearly as bruised as it did yesterday. But she's quiet. And as you enter the room, the master looks at you and she just simply says, "Sit down."
I sit next to Lilith immediately.
"I believe we talked about this, Lorna, in private. We had a conversation regarding your precautions against being tracked and being watched, and those precautions made it impossible for me to watch and make sure that my investment was sound. And so when I take direct physical means to instead make sure my investment is safe and perhaps doing what I need her to do, you go out of your way to lose that tail. I am frustrated with you, Lorna. Do you understand why?"
Because I went against your wishes?
"Because as smart as you are, you do very stupid things. Now, the real reason I am in Ferrum is to intercept an individual. They are arriving at the docks today, this afternoon. They have information I need to get from them. But it cannot be seen as me doing it, and so it will be the 2 of you.
Okay.
Do you understand me so far?"
Yes.
Lilith nods. "Good. Now, as a wizard, what do you need to cast spells?
Components or focus?
And
Magic?
And
A spellbook?
hold out your hands."
Lorna hesitantly puts her hands out. "I need my hands too."
The master looks over your hands. "You will be handling this issue without magic today. You will be handling my associate? No. This individual. Through direct means. Do you understand what I'm saying to you?"
Let's pretend I'm stupid.
"Yes, let's pretend." The master holds onto your left hand and begins running her fingertips over the wrinkles in your palm. And as she does so, a stool across the room until it's underneath her, and she sits down opposite you. And you see Lilith is tense next to you. She doesn't know what is going to happen. She doesn't know what the master is doing. And Lilith says, "I don't need magic to do whatever it is you need me to do." And the master says, "Good, I know that. However," and she looks back at you, her eyes looking straight into yours, and she says, "some have yet to prove themselves. Now, You will handle your task today without the use of magic. You will also do so without shaking those who I have following you to make sure that my investment is safe.
Right.
Now, you also should know I don't give second warnings. You recall that, correct?
I do.
Good. Then this should come as no surprise to you. As she's holding your left hand in her hand, with her right hand, quickly, she pulls a dagger from her belt, and she rests it against the wrist of your left hand. And she says, "Now, remind me what it is that you're going to do."
Handle your associate at the dock without magic.
And?
Not shake your tail.
Good. Thank you for listening. However, as I can't have you dawdling from that order, as you have so many in the past, I need you to make a con save.
It's okay. It's a 17.
You don't fall unconscious. As the magical dagger passes through your wrist, the bone severed. Your left hand is in the master's hand, but your arm is loose.
Okay.
You take 12 points of damage. You remain conscious as you are bleeding on the floor.
Can I fix that?
As the blood pours out of the stump of your left, forearm, the master winds her hands together, holding your hand in her right hand. You watch as the blood seems to scab over in a large coalescence on the end of your stump until the burning pain is apparent. But it is a new kind of pain, as heat suddenly singes into your bone and the wound cauterizes.
I think on the floor, probably just openly weeping, she's gonna look up at the master and say, "Am I gonna get that back?"
This hand?
Yes, but any hand really.
If you impress me, maybe we'll give you a new one.
Okay.
You glance up, and the master looks uncaring and cold. Lilith is white face. Her already pale complexion, all of the blood has drained from. Aside from the new injury, your clothes are unmarred. There is no blood on you. There's no obvious example of what just happened, except for the fact that you're missing a hand. And as you look down at it, you see that the windings of bandage are wrapped around the end of your arm. You didn't do that. You don't know when that happened.
Are you gonna keep that?
Of course. It would be a waste.
Okay.
Now,
When are we gonna meet your contact?
that is a good question. You're going to go down to the docks, and you are going to wait for the arrival of the ship, the Saltwife. Do the two of you understand?
Yes.
Good. Off you go.
Who are we meeting?
Ah, of course. A man of Ceresian descent. Yuli Kars is his name. Use those remarkable people skills of yours, because surely the common sense hasn't sufficed.
What are we supposed to do with him?
Bring him here.
Okay.
Do it however you must, by force, by persuasion, by coercion, by payment. It doesn't matter. Get him here. But no
Okay.
magic.
Uh, does Lorna think she can actually perform magic missing a hand? Does she think that the somatic gestures can be supplied with just one of her hands, or is that something she needs to learn?
That is something she thinks she needs to talk to Tabernac about.
Okay. Right. I think Lorna would use her good hand and use the edge of the bed to pull herself back up to her feet.
Okay.
And she would look at Lilith and say, "Shall we?"
With a hint of admiration, Lilith stands up and says, "Yeah, let's go." The master, you hear her kind of say, "Good, that's improvement. Off the two of you go." Oh, if I don't receive Mr. Koss by the end of the day, I need a good explanation, or your heads.
Is she talking to both of us?
Yes.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Of course.
Lilith says, "You'll have it. Him."
And Lorna will be the first one out the door.
As soon as Lilith follows you out the door, you hear like the slight shaking of metal on metal as Lilith is lighting a cigarette with shaky hands.
Uh-huh.
And she says, "What the fuck?"
Mm-hmm. Do you have any gloves?
Yeah. 1 second. And she reaches into her bag and she pulls out a pair of what look like woodcutting gloves. They're not perfectly sized to you, but they'll do the job.
Yeah, she's gonna put them on. It's not gonna look great, but at least it's not gonna draw immediate attention to the fact that she's now missing a hand.
Right. You kind of keep your arm loose and it looks like there's a hand there.
Mm-hmm.
Close inspection would show that it is an empty glove, but at a glance, you look whole. And as you head down the stairs,
I think she was mad.
finally in a nervous just what the fuck did you do? Yeah, she was mad. I've never seen her mad. What the fuck?
I lost the invisible person she had following me.
She said no second warnings. What the hell happened first?
Does Lorna think that was the amulet?
Yes.
She'll look at Lilith and then tap the amulet around her neck and say, "Remember what I told you? She wasn't happy about this."
Oh, you fucking idiot. And you see her, she like, cigarette in one hand, just like rubs her face.
Sometimes hard lessons are what you need to learn.
You're never gonna forget that one, I bet.
No. Let's go. The salt wife?
The salt wife. That's what she said.
You like Cass. Right.
Kars.
I think Kars, whatever.
I understand you're probably dealing with a lot right now.
Give me a minute. Lorna's face is probably a fucking mess.
Yeah.
Just like red-rimmed eyes and just like tear tracks down her face. There's no blood, at least. She just looks like she just had a real bad time.
You've experienced terrible pain.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're in agony right now. I believe, yeah.
It still hurts?
Oh, yes. I need to know how you're going to handle that.
I have some thistle in my bag.
Okay.
Self-medication, baby!
That's true.
I sure can't give myself false life.
As you head down the stairs, Tame looks up and sees that you are in clear distress. You saw that she has like a mug of something. She sets it down on the table and stands up quickly, and she says, "Lorna!"
No, relax. Sit down for a minute.
She's like, has a hand on the great axe.
It's fine.
She sits back down. All right.
We're gonna be doing something. But first, I need your help with something.
All right.
It's really simple.
What is it?
She's gonna reach deliberately with her right hand into her bag, and pull out her mellow thistle, which is it's like a cigarette or a blunt.
It's like a cigarette.
Yeah.
Typically, it's smoked in a pipe, but as you acquired it, it would have been just the mellow thistle
'Cause I don't
itself.
have a fucking
So
yeah, I
it's a
don't have a
cigarette.
fucking pipe. Right. And she would just put it in her mouth and she'd be like, "Can you light this, please?"
Tame looks at you. Okay. Whatever. And she reaches into her bag, pulls out the tinderbox, and with a little flame ignites on the end of it, and she lights your mellow thistle. Roll me a con save.
13?
As I've described before, mellow thistle works its way into your bloodstream as you smoke it. It is not unpleasant to smoke. It tastes of this smooth, mellow, just like warmer air almost. And as you breathe it, you feel this calm take over. Your thought process is slow a little bit as the running thoughts of anxiety and panic, they slow to a crawl until you can think of things rationally. And the pain that was agonizing in your left forearm is now still an ache. You can feel the ghost pain of the fingers that are no longer there, as if you want to clench your fist, but you can't. It's almost like a cramp. The cut is clean. It hurts, but it's not all you're thinking about now.
Mm-hmm.
You feel like you want some more crepes as well.
uh, Fuck. And Lorna will just take a few deep breaths and then look at Lilith and Tam and be like, we have a person to find at the docks shortly. We have to get them back here by any means necessary.
Lilith, is peering at the cigarette that you just smoked, and she says, well, I would concern that you're medicating a little, but considering the circumstance, that's fair. Yeah, I guess
I won't make a habit of this. Only when I lose limbs will I do this.
Tame says, what?
Lorna will lift her hand and wave, and
the glove just... Tame says, what the fuck? You were gone for...
I told you she was mad.
She took your hand?
Lorna would be like, shh.
I don't want to know who the fuck you're fucking with.
We need to find a man from the Saltwife ship. Ceresian, Yuli, Grass, Kars
is what Lilith
I don't know why
supplies.
I can't remember this. There was other stuff happening, I suppose, when I heard that name.
Lilith says, let's just go. Let's get down to the docks.
All right.
Might already be here.
Fuck.
And do you head down to the docks?
Yeah.
Okay. As you head out into Farum proper, you, Tame, and Lilith gather your things, finish the drink, and head down towards the docks.
You are also in disbelief of what this character has just done.
A little bit, yeah.
I made her mad.
You made her super mad.
Whoa.
Okay.
My hand. It was such a nice hand, too. Perfectly manicured, no calluses.
It's gone now.
Yeah, it is. I use it
As
for weird shit, I know it.
as you make your way down the streets, I need to make a quick roll for awareness. As the three of you are, it's almost like it's hard not to walk tentatively, as you're worried that you might bump the nub against something. And while the mellow thistle has cut most of the pain away, and at this point, after it's been about a few minutes, it's almost as if the pain is just a dull throbbing just like a rash or a sore.
Part of my life now.
You hear, "Well, I have taken some drastic effects, never so quickly. She certainly doesn't mess around, does she?"
No, I think that's the point. It's hard to
Well,
argue with that.
she certainly maintains control.
How am I supposed to do magic?
Hold on. You can perform most somatics with one hand. Just takes practice. You also, maybe, can acquire a proper arcane prosthetic.
And she said she'd get me one if I made her happy.
It is her expressing control over you. This is not going to be easy. But you will come out of it on top, I believe. Or at least alive.
You think you would have?
Oh, yes.
Then what do I have to worry about?
Losing another hand.
Fuck.
She can express pain over you. She can express power. But you are of no value to her dead. You are... No, you still have value. Particularly to... well, my widower.
Right. Do you think you'd want me back as damaged goods?
I don't know. Based on what I read, and what you read, I should say, it seems as though his mental state has certainly deteriorated. He might not. There's no way to know. I don't think that's an experiment you wish to perform.
No, it just feels like every week I become physically more different from you, and not really even by choice.
To be fair, you are working with an individual who expresses her control over others through pain and permanent marking. You now bear a scar across your face, and you are missing a hand. There is no doubt you will always remember what has happened, even if others question.
Maybe one day I'll forget, like you did.
Perhaps.
I can
Doubt
kind
it.
of, I can kind of see why you'd want to.
Mm-hmm. Well, good friends are hard to come by.
Maybe.
And, well, she might not be a good friend. She is at least an ally at the moment. I wouldn't want her to be my enemy.
No, I'm just fast-tracking my way to that, aren't I?
No. No. She's trying to make herself seem absolutely necessary for your future. She's trying to make you believe that she is all-powerful. And while she does hold power over you right now, she is not all-powerful. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I think so.
Through fear, she controls you. Until you are strong enough to change that.
That's the next step, then.
Mm-hmm. Get stronger. You now have, well, room to improve.
Yeah. Starting with one-handed gestures. Actually, as she's walking and mentally talking, her good hand will probably be going through the motions of spells that she's familiar with.
Trying to learn the somatics one-handed.
Right, just like really etching in stone those motions and kind of how she's now going to have to adapt.
Now, with only one hand, if you are in combat and you have a weapon equipped, you have to put it away before you can cast a spell.
Sure do.
Yep.
Ooh, yeah. Isn't there a feat that I could do?
Warcaster.
Well, shit. Which is probably something I'm gonna have to learn. Or get a new hand.
Or get a new hand.
Maybe I'll just really impress the master with this little retrieval mission.
Let us see how you handle this.
Next to doubt.
As the three of you make your way down toward the docks, it's not far, and you are mostly undisturbed on this Sunday morning. As you arrive, let me get this map going, and let me pull out Tame, as she is with you. Tame, looking at you as we arrive at the docks, says, "All right, what are we doing here? Aside from just loitering."
There's a ship. There's a person on the ship. I don't really know what their relationship is to the master. She said we get him back to the Mary Guard, to her room, any means necessary, so I'm going to guess he doesn't necessarily want to come willingly.
Lilith says, "So we should probably try and keep it hidden that we're taking him to the master, then."
Yeah. I hate that my immediate first thought was to use magic. Why wouldn't it be? I mean, I figured I could, I don't know, act like a lady of the night and get him back to a tavern.
Well, you could.
Right, well, I was gonna, like, disguise myself with magic, but
You could go to the clothes store.
she's just kind of look herself over and be like, I even with nice clothes, I don't think I'm fit to seduce anybody.
Lilith looks at
My
you
face
and she
is
furrows,
kind of a mess.
raises an eyebrow, and she says, "It's not hard."
To seduce someone?
No. Especially a sailor? Are you kidding?
I haven't really done that.
Okay. Fuck, you're naive. Okay. When the boat pulls up, we're gonna see if we can spot our guy. We might have to ask around a little bit. All you have to do, or I guess I could try, but I'm not good with people.
That's true.
All you have to do is just try and be nice. Offer him a meal.
That's true. I mean, you don't even like me, and I offered you a meal and you still ate with me.
She, just looks at you and blinks. What makes you think I don't like you?
Well, the last time I said that you don't like me, you agreed with me, so that kind of made me
I think you're annoying.
Okay.
I think you're entitled, naive,
sure.
know-it-all.
All right.
A little bit condescending.
Is there a point to this?
No.
Okay.
No, I just wanted to tell you those things. But I never said I don't like you.
I'm going to pretend that's a really nice compliment because I need it right now. It's been a day. Could you just look my face over and maybe get the snot and the tears and just make me look a little more presentable if I'm going to be the one convincing this man to come with me to a tavern?
Yeah, before anything else, blow your nose.
Okay. Can I go to a clothing store really quickly?
Yeah, go ahead. I'll hang out here and make sure the boat doesn't show up.
Okay,
Be quick.
Right.
Tame looks at you and says, "I'm not staying with her. I'm protecting you."
Right, yeah, I know. Yeah, come with me. Help me look really pretty.
Okay. And she follows you.
I think this is a good idea. It's perfectly natural to be like, hey, come to this tavern with me because I want to seduce you. And then like, hey, come up to this room with me. I think this is going to work.
Tame says, "Well, are you trying to get laid? Because
no.
Well, you have to prove." Tame, if you want him to be seduced, you have to act like you are.
No, of course. I mean, I was going to, but I thought you were asking me, like, am I really going to?
Well, no,
I don't even know what he looks like.
I figured not, because you were talking about getting him for the master person.
Hail.
Hail.
Be careful with that.
Okay.
Uh, let's go.
I really don't like that we're working with somebody that cut off your fucking hand.
Well, that makes two of us.
Why are we doing this?
Can you believe that there are things in my past that might inform my current decisions?
Yeah. But why don't we just
Then
go to the
maybe,
guard and be like, hey, this crazy bitch cut off my hand?
absolutely not. Please do not do that. I can't stop you, but I will cry a lot if you decide to do that. So, am
What? Just make. Look.
I supposed to actually threaten you?
No. Just look at
Okay.
me, okay? I'm trying to help, and I don't understand why. Why? Just give me something, okay?
I owe her.
Enough that you can overlook getting your hand cut off?
I owe her a lot.
What, like life or death?
In a manner of speaking. My freedom.
Oh, Lilas preserve us. Alright, sure. I'll take it. It's something. Don't look like you're about to cry.
I am.
Like, fucking here. And Tame will pull out, like, basically a handkerchief. It's like a rag. It's a clean one, but she, like, begins brusquely wiping off your face.
You're rubbing my cheeks.
Yeah. Alright, go get cleaned up and let's find you some slutty clothes.
Okay. Shopping with Tame. Do you think they make like long gloves? I could like put some like stuff some parchment into the hand part.
Probably, yes, you could probably find some.
I just don't think he'll be attracted to me if I only have one hand.
Who do you say that to? Are you saying
Freshly
that to Tame?
stabbed. She's kind of speaking out loud to herself.
Tame will say,
Is this a deal breaker?
I don't think he'd care if you're offering to fucking dip his wick.
Ugh, so crass.
Holy shit. You know you're working to become a mercenary, right?
I don't know what I'm working for.
Well, right now you're going to school to be a mercenary. Whether you actually do it or not is up to you. But get used to hearing that sort of shit, because it's going to be around.
Okay.
Have you ever been on a boat before?
Sailed here, didn't I? Yeah, I sailed here.
How did you not hear that shit on your
No,
first ride over?
I had a private cabin.
Wow. Okay.
I was trying to lay it low. I didn't really go out and socialize with the sailors.
How much are we trying to spend on clothes?
Uh, just enough that I look fuckable. Aha, see, I can be crass too.
You did it. I'm really proud. All right. And then you head to the nearest clothiers down by the docks.
Trying to look like a lady of the night.
You find a tailor's labeled Hamish. That's it, just Hamish. As you go inside, it is lined with bolts of linen and also plenty of pre-made outfits, men and women, children included. You can basically find anything you want as long as it's fairly simple.
Right.
Anything more complicated will require time.
No, fuck that. She's gonna look at Tim and be like, okay, you seem to be someone who fucks. Right? You've been known for that? Done it once or twice?
I've done it a few times, yeah.
Could you just pick something on that you think on me would make me very desirable? So I don't know what I'm doing.
All right. You're real
I'll stand
small.
here.
So, do you have a color you like?
I like yellow.
No, that's not hot enough. All right.
Okay, how about red?
Red'll do. And Tame goes looking through the clothes, I'm going to roll for
Yellow's
Tame.
not hot enough. It's my favorite color.
Tame comes back and she gives you a couple garments. One of them is like a dark red, almost crimson. It is basically a casual-ish dress that has a leg slit on both sides. The next one is another dress, but this one's like a pencil dress almost. Basically very tight everywhere, but it's, as Tame holds it out to you, she says, I don't really know why someone will be down by the docks wearing this, but you could pull it off, I'm sure, with the right
Well,
excuse.
if I'm there to, what did you say?
Dip your wick.
If I'm looking to dip my wick, I would wear that, and that's why I'm there. Of course, I'm trying to get laid.
Oh, you hurt so much when you say that. Just
Okay, I'm trying.
you enunciate too much.
If I didn't, my tutor would have smacked my hand with a ruler.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You
Is there
didn't
any
have a
other
tutor
outfits?
in this alternative life that we're doing right now.
All right. Shit, you're right.
Just try one of these on.
I'll try both. Which one looks better?
According to my rolls, the one with the twin slits looks better.
I'll take that.
Okay. It is forgiving when it comes to cleavage, and it's a pretty, like, the slit goes pretty high, basically right up to the hips.
Nice.
And as you come out wearing that, Tame says, "Oh yeah, that'll do."
Yeah, is my face okay?
Maybe we should. And she gets a disguise kit basically, and says, "Let's make you up."
Okay.
I don't think Lorna. Tame has certainly put on makeup and paint, but typically not the sort that is becoming of a 5 foot tall elf. Lorna has probably put on makeup before.
For special occasions.
Tame would hand the makeup kit to Lorna and be like, just go really red, like aggressive.
Got it. I do that.
Okay. Roll me a performance
Okay.
for how
It's
your
a 14.
your slutty glow up goes.
Yes, my slow up.
You look good. You
Yeah.
you definitely look not like a hooker, but like someone
A beautiful woman, you know.
eh, someone
Eh?
trying to get laid.
Okay. Damn. All right.
Definitely a bit more sexualized than otherwise
Then,
would be.
right. My normal travel clothes. All right.
And when you're all finished, Tame looks at you and says, "Okay, yeah, you look like somebody out to have a good time."
Well, I am.
Right. Let's go pay for this shit.
Okay.
It's not much. It's 10 gold basically, and most of it's in the disguise kit.
All right. Went to fucking medieval Sephora.
Basically, yeah. And as you got yourself all gussied up and you head back toward the docks, roll me a perception check. And describe to me how it is that you are hiding your missing hand. If you are.
Okay, that's a 12. Can I say maybe 12 for perception? You know how sometimes women who are going out to a fancy location, they'll have like a shawl that they kind of rest in the crooks of their elbows and kind of like just it's like kind of around their waist as well. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yes.
She's just gonna kind of let's just say she got one of those and she's mostly gonna
Keep
her
her hand tucked
hand,
in there.
her little nub at her waist.
Okay. Roll a stealth check.
Not sleight of hand.
Yeah, specifically not.
Okay, but I just thought it would be funny if I said that.
Sleight of
Ten.
nub.
10.
Okay. Not stellar.
That's
The
fucking
problem
bad.
is, every time you tuck it into the sash, it fucking hurts.
Yeah.
Every
Is it
time.
like, is it blatantly like crusty?
No. It's a clean wound that's been cauterized, and it's got a bandage over it, so it's just.
Okay, that's not terrible. Even
No.
if he does notice, it's fine.
Okay.
Just be like, whoa, she parties.
It's not a horrendous wound. It has been tended
Well,
to,
it was
so
a
it's not
horrendous
bleeding.
wound, but it has been tended to.
Yes. You don't even know when she did it. But your hand is the nub is wrapped, and it just looks like
Okay.
a white cloth over it.
All right, that's fine. I can deal with that.
Okay. When you get back to the docks, you see Lilith is still standing there. She's kind of holding up a wall with a cigarette in her mouth, and she looks over at you and she just says, "Damn. Okay."
Yeah. I got it in me if someone else was dressing me.
I guess Tame knows how to fuck.
That's what I said.
Tame just like looks between the two of you and says, "Who said I didn't?"
Nobody. Nobody. Right, we're looking for a Ceresian man. That's it. That's all I know.
A Ceresian man.
Yep.
All right. I'm going to go get a clava.
I'm gonna.
You want
How
one?
many? Yes. How many docks are there for ships to
6.
dock? 6. How many of them are already full?
4.
Okay, so it's one or the other. When she sees a ship coming in, she will try to hope it's the Salt Wife,
Yes. that
and then
is the name of the
she'll
boat.
gravitate toward that area and try to draw attention to herself.
Okay.
the plan.
So the plan, so Lilith would say, so wait, your plan is to attract this guy like a moth?
Hopefully.
That ain't gonna work. We have to find him our damn selves. Because
Well,
you're gonna
yeah,
attract.
but I can still.
You're gonna attract every fucking sailor on the boat. It's not like our one guy is horny. They're all gonna be horny. They've just been at sea for months.
I don't know. So
You're the one good at talking to people. What do you mean you don't
I'm
know?
good at talking to people. I just horny people aren't really my forte.
Just say you're looking for this guy.
That's not a bad idea. See, this is why we workshop.
How the fuck? Lilith like rubs her face. Ow! And she pinches her nose. Okay.
Should I do that now or when the dock?
When the boat is here,
Okay, damn. It's been a day.
it's like 9 in the morning, which just
It's
started.
been a day for me.
Lilith just shakes her head and leans back against the wall as Tame.
Has your life suddenly changed for the worse? No.
She looks at you and says, "My life's been worse for a while."
Oh, fucking cry me a river. She's actually gonna reach up and take the cigarette from Lil's fingers and take a drag on
You try.
it. She's rolling a lot faster than me.
Roll sleight
But-
of hand.
Hopefully she thinks like she's just so bewildered that I catch her off guard. A 9.
As you reach for it, Lilith says, "Fuck, get your own."
Oh, come on. Fuck it. This is bullshit.
Look, just because you're now a cripple doesn't mean I have to pity you.
You could.
I ain't gonna.
Alright.
I was there when it happened.
Yeah, you look like you just pissed yourself.
Did I?
Yeah.
Are you calling me a coward right now?
No, I'm teasing you because I like you.
You should tease people in a way that doesn't immediately piss them off.
I've been told that I do that. I'm I'm really trying here.
Well, it's like eyes are like narrowed and looking at you. This is your trying.
Believe it or not.
God's help you.
So far, deaf ears.
Have you really tried?
You don't know what my life is like.
You
She's
just
just
you
gonna
just
look-
strike me as the type who would, think they couldn't help you anyway.
Now who's saying things to deliberately piss the other person off?
Oh, am I right?
Eh.
Lilith just smiles and nods. Did baby want a cigarette?
Yeah, that's why I tried to take yours.
Lilith will reach into her bag and pull out the pack and will offer you a cigarette.
Thanks.
Good luck lighting
Fuck. You're an ass.
it. She actually laughs at you.
Not the first, and it won't be the last time.
After a moment of just you trying to figure out how to light it with one hand, Lilith.
Yeah, I really make her feel bad about it.
Oh,
She
if you. Lilith doesn't feel bad at all.
No, she just plays it up until Lilith finally deigns to help me.
It takes a while. She lets you struggle for a while.
Oh, cool.
Until finally Lilith is like, alright, that's just a waste of a cigarette at this point. And then she will flick her thumb up so there's a little flame and hold it out to you.
Still really cool. And she'll light it.
As you stand there waiting with Lilith, and Tame comes back with 3 clavas, and she hands you one. You are basically just kind of stuck here, waiting. Roll me a D100.
Gotcha. 18.
It actually doesn't take that long.
Ooh.
About maybe 45 minutes of just loitering. You do get questioned by guards once, as the 3 of you are just kind of standing there. A couple of guards on patrol look at you, and the nearest guard, who is wearing a helmet, says from beneath the helmet, "You there? What's this all about then?"
Can't you stand here?
I suppose not. It's just rare to see Marigard students doing nothing on their day off.
Isn't that what days off are for?
That's fair. Stay out of trouble.
Of course, officer.
And 2 guards just kind of continue on with their beat. That's all that happens. They weren't really, like, confronting you. They were more worried about, like, Marigard students. Oh, God, is something happening?
Oh, what are they up to? Yeah, they're just standing there. Okay, before we continue, I really gotta pee.
Okay.
Just give me, like, 5 minutes.
Okay, so as you wait at the docks, a 2-masted schooner sails up into port. It's the first one that you see arrive in one of these empty piers, and as it does, you see emblazoned in white lettering along the prow, the Salt Wife. You see a number of crew aboard, you see a number of passengers aboard, and as the ship pulls into moorings, Lilith next to you says, "All right, wait until they start offboarding, and then see if you can get one of the crew, not one of the passengers, and ask him about Yuli."
Yuli cars.
Yeah.
Yeah, alright. Fuck, I feel like I'm doing all the work.
You're the one good with people. You want me to do this?
No, well. No, it's okay, I got it. Can we
be
say
with
that...
you.
I think that you and Tame should just kind of stick behind, like, at a distance.
Okay, then why are you complaining about you doing all the work?
Because fuck me, that's why I don't know.
All right.
You know how Lorna normally wore Requiem as a snake belt?
Yes.
Can he be, like, around her leg under the dress instead?
Sure.
Okay, that's where he is.
Okay.
Snake garter.
All right. You're wearing Requiem underneath your dress. You notice when that happened, at first he would say, "I cannot see much from under here, Lorna."
I know. It's less about you being able to see and more about you being with me, but discreetly.
Very well. And he would just hang out there. He has no real physical form, so he doesn't deform the dress at all. You might worry momentarily if the dress pulls too tight, he might clip through it in places.
Yeah, that's fine. They'd be like, that was a weird trick of the eye.
Yeah.
Like, if you're gonna see that, are you immediately gonna think, I think that person has an incorporeal ghost snake around their leg, or are they
Probably
gonna be
not.
like,
That's a
that was
weird
weird?
shadow. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Um,
As the boat
yeah,
begins to offload, how do you handle this?
she's gonna do exactly what Lilith told her,
Tell her.
because Lilith is much more street smart than Lorna is, and she's gonna look for like obvious crew,
Roll me investigation.
but she's gonna like sashay about it.
All right. Roll me investigation and a performance.
Oh boy, investigation's good, 21, and performance 13, which is good. I don't want to be too sexy.
With a 21, you do isolate the members of the ship that are crew. It's easy to do as the ship is pulling into moorings. There are individuals climbing down off the side of the ship and tying it into place. So it's obvious which ones are crew. One individual stands out to you as they have disembarked. He stands looking up at the ship, and you can hear him not barking orders, but commenting on what the crew is doing. This individual is tall, black-skinned, with a bald head.
Okay, she would pick him.
Okay. As you approach, he would look to you and say, can I help you?
You actually could. I'm looking for somebody.
Who might that be?
I believe his name is Yuli Kars, and any information about them I will make it worth your while.
How do you mean? Roll
Just
me,
need to know what he looks like.
roll me a perception check.
Oh boy.
Or
Is
no,
this
not
Yuli
a
Kars?
perception. Roll me an insight check.
I rolled good. Ah!
With a 23, the way the man said that, and you glance down, you can see his hand is open.
Uh-huh.
You think he's expecting a bribe.
Uh-huh. She's remembering Tier told her what like a decent bribe for these circumstances was, right? A couple silver. Does that feel like right to Lorna?
Like 5 silver.
Yeah? Okay,
Sure.
she's gonna do that. She'll put 5 silver in his hand.
You see the man kind of palm the coin, roll it between his fingers a little bit. Roll me persuasion. At advantage.
Okay. Pretty good.
He seems to kind of hoe and hum about it for a moment. And then he says, "You'll know him. Clean facial hair, except for beard and mustache. Keeps the rest nice and tight. Dark hair. Dark skin, not dark as mine. Tanned." And as he describes Yuli to you, it's not long before you see one of the passengers disembarking matches that description.
Okay, she's going to thank the person that she got the information from. And she's going to travel in the direction of this of her quarry, her charge.
Okay. You head in that
think-
direction.
I'm going to try to bump into him.
Okay. Like subtly? Because
Yeah.
this is not... So to bump into him would be you're trying to climb onto the boat.
Oh, I mean, I could wait for him to climb down.
Sure. Okay. You're going to wait for him to get onto the docks and out onto the main street, and then you're going to try and bump into him. Okay. Roll
Just
me...
like, oops.
Roll me a deception.
I'm pretty good at those. Please don't jinx that. Yeah, baby.
21.
Pretty
Okay.
fucking good.
As you bump, quote unquote, into this man, he says, "Oh,
Oh, I'm so
Sorry.
sorry.
no, I beg your pardon. My mistake.
No, goodness, I am so clumsy.
Who might
You're
you
not
be?"
hurt, are you?
No, I'm fine.
Oh, you can call me Lily.
Lily. That's a pretty name.
Well, thank you.
Are you from around here?
No, I'm not. I'm actually from Saris.
Oh, well, call her from home. That's good to know.
I thought I recognized your accent.
You don't seem to have a lick of one.
Huh.
Do you know where there might be a place to stay around here? I just got into town, obviously.
I actually do. I was actually on my way. Would you like to come with me?
You
I've been
know,
living here a little bit while.
well, I'm sure you're about the town. You got stuff to do.
Oh, no, I was actually on my way there.
Oh, well, I mean, all right. Sh- Uh, and as he's kind of bumbling about, I need you to roll me a persuasion check. At advantage, due to your efforts already.
Dean. Oh, it was a 2, so goodness for the 17.
With a 17, he says, "You know what, Lily? I'd like that. I'd like that. I could use a sit down and some company if you don't
I know
mind."
exactly how long that voyage is. Horrible.
Yeah, I could certainly stretch my legs a little bit. Why don't you lead the way?
Absolutely.
Okay. And
I think
you.
she'd use her good hand and kind of like loosely loop it into like the crook of his elbow.
Okay. He kind of smiles, and you. Why don't you roll me an insight check?
Oh. Pretty good. Phew.
It is.
19.
It is clear this man is weary from the voyage. He looks anxious, a little bit nervous, but as you are kind of reassuring him with tones from home,
Mm-hmm.
it seems like you're maybe something he was hoping for. And as you lead him up the street, you do catch sight of Lilith and Tame, kind of look at each other, and then begin to follow.
Yeah. This poor man's gonna die.
All right. You have acquired someone that you hope is Yuli Kars.
Oh yeah, for sure. I did not ask his name. She would do that on the like the walk up, like,
So, tell me about yourself.
Oh, I used to be a dock worker over in Port Sanctuary, but it's been a while and needed some new environments, as it were.
And Farum.
Well, I'm hoping to get to Augur City. This is just a stop on the way.
That's true. A couple days on the road. Not bad. Been there once.
I beg your pardon. I never introduced myself. I'm Yuli. It's a pleasure to
Yes.
meet you.
It's a pleasure, Yuli.
Having confirmed this is individual you're hoping to have found,
it's like the other guy just walked that way, and I just found this random guy.
it could have happened. But you bribed the right individual. As you arrive in the tavern, you lead Yuli in. It is about maybe close to 11 in the morning, almost noon, when you arrive. And as you do, roll me a perception check.
Oh yeah, baby. 24. Finally, these rolls are kicking in.
You notice that the master is not on the floor. She's not at any of the tables. However, you do catch, as you enter the door, you didn't see anyone behind you, but as you step into the tavern, the door takes an awful long time to close.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yuli next to you says, "Well, this seems like a nice place.
It is. It's one of the nicest in town.
Fantastic."
You wouldn't mind if I treated you to a drink, would you?
That's music to my ears, Lily. I could use
Can
it.
I say, accept Sarisian hospitality?
I would accept it when it's offered. And you buy him a drink?
Yeah, she's gonna ply him a little bit. Just keep it casual, like, and the entire time she's talking, she's just gonna like just do like the subtle, flirtatious, like hand over his hand, touch his shoulder.
Roll persuasion at advantage.
Pretty good. 22.
With a 22, he at first is nervous, but as you get drinks into him, and as you talk to him, you kind of wear him down. He becomes pliable.
Mm-hmm.
After about an hour, You do notice across the room Tame and Lilith at another table.
Mm-hmm.
Yuli says, "You know, Lily, you've really been nice to me. I appreciate it. I've had a hell of a voyage."
I know what it's like being a new person in a new town.
I appreciate it. You've done me a kindness.
Of course. And this isn't too forward. I know that, you came here looking for a room, but I actually already have a room.
Do you now?
I do.
You can see he, sounds a little nervous. Okay.
I could show you around if you want. Little tour.
Lily, I don't mean to be too on the nose here, but are you trying to proposition me?
Why is it working?
A lovely woman such as yourself doesn't have to try so hard.
Well, I just don't believe in letting chances get away from me.
Let me tell you, there's nobody I'd rather spend the rest of my day with. So, sure.
That's internal. The evil laughter.
I
The evil
figured.
laughter is internal. She will put her hand on his back and
Stand and be like, well,
Yeah, lead the way. I'm eager to see what you have in store for me.
it'll be fun.
She's gonna go upstairs.
You
She's
guide
gonna
him
go
up.
a pace ahead of him just so he could, watch her walk up.
Uh-huh.
You know how it is.
Yeah, I'm familiar. Let me guess. Are you leading him to room 3B?
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel
As
bad
you-
for this guy, but damn.
As
You
you
might not want to lose
arrive,
another hand.
as you arrive at room 3B, what do you do?
She's gonna take his hand and slide open the door and just kind of usher him inside, playfully.
Okay, I need one last persuasion check at advantage.
25. Come on, man. I look DTF.
With a 25, yeah, you are successful.
Poor
And
fucking guy.
Yuli Kars, nervous but hopeful, follows you into the room. The door shuts, not by you or him. And you hear, "Well done. Why don't you have a seat?" And, yeah, you.
Yep.
And as Yuli turns around to look at the new person that he didn't expect to hear, the master leans against the door and says, "So you're Yuli Kars?" And Yuli says, "Yeah. What? Who are you?" "You have been a thorn in my side. Once again." She looks at you and points a finger and says, "Well done." Now, Yuli, I imagine you may regret opening that box, don't you? And Yuli, looking between the two of you, he has his bag between his hands, and he's holding it up right underneath his chest, like as if it would protect him. And he says, What do you know about that?" "It was my box. One should never look at things that don't belong to them, should they?" "Sit down." And there is a definite flavor of magic behind those words. Hold on.
Mm-hmm.
You watch as she says that, her eyes flare white. But just the irises, as if there's an inner glow radiating from within them. And without missing a beat, he does sit right on the stool that was in the middle of the room. The same one the master sat on when she removed your hand. As he sits, he has his bag on his lap and he's looking up at the master. And he says, I don't understand. And then you watch his eyes open wide as he puts something together. And the master says, you have my manifest, don't you? Don't you? And as she says that more forcefully, she approaches, leaning down toward him, just bent at the hips, and you see his face has gone stark white. The second time in someone's presence that you've watched somebody lose all the color in their face. As she just looks him in the eye, basically reading him from stem to stern. He says, I don't know, how did you know I'd be here? How did you know I was coming now? I have more tricks than you could know, Mr. Koss. Just like how I know all about Chandra and her own gambling addiction. Which is why you're here, isn't it? You found your golden goose, but you didn't know it was my golden goose in the first place. You thought turning me in would earn you plenty of gold at the hands of the Aurelian court, didn't you? Foolish. I just found... Okay, I don't know what this is all about. I don't know who she is. She said her name was Lily. I'm beginning to doubt everything about that. He, looks at you, and you can see just... He looks hurt.
Aw, don't do that to
betrayed.
me, the player. She's gonna, lift her hands up. One of them's being a stub, and she's gonna be like, we do what we have to.
What is that? He sees that you're gesturing to a nub, and then he looks at the master, and he says, look, they offered a reward for information. I just needed gold, alright? We were starving. So here I am. And the master says, and at the wrong cost. You crossed the wrong master.
Mm.
And now you will learn two things. First, you will remember where you are keeping that manifest and hand it to me. And you watch as Yuli looks back and forth between her and you. Give me the manifest now. And that was a command. You feel the power of suggestion in the air. I know I told you to work without magic, but I am exempt with such rules, as I don't have the patience to deal with this idiot. She says that to you, as Yuli, failing his wisdom save, has wrenched open the bag and is tearing through the seam on the edge of the bag, and he pulls out what looks like a slightly water-damaged but complete shipping manifest. The master snatches it from his hands and says, that's a good boy. Yes, perfect. As she reads over it. And now, for your second lesson. Lorna,
Yes.
kill him.
Oh.
Lorna will swallow thickly and stand up and say,
Without magic.
Without magic, with your bare hands. And as she says that, Yuli looks back at you and his eyes are wide and he says, No, look, I won't say anything. You already have the manifest, just let me go. I won't tell anybody anything. I don't have any proof. You can let me go, I'll be just fine. And the master says, You made a dire mistake. Lorna, kill him. I won't ask you again.
That's the last thing she needs to hear. I have a dagger.
Mm-hmm.
And she's gonna pull it out and say, please don't make this harder than it needs to be for both of us.
He immediately stands up.
Oh, Jesus.
And he says, You really... Stay away from me! And as he does, the master snaps her fingers, and you watch as his whole body constricts, and he falls prone. Only he can still speak, as he says,
Oh, God.
Please, no, please. She's expecting me. I'll be back in just a couple months. You don't have to do this, please.
Is he laying on his back or his face?
He fell flat on his back, so he's looking up.
Lorna will look one last time at the master.
Her eyebrow is raised. She just gestures with an open hand. I couldn't have made it any easier for you.
Thank you for your help.
She will walk forward,
You're welcome.
kneel above this person.
Please, just let me go. I'll do anything you want. I'll be quiet. I won't tell a soul.
I don't have a choice. It's you or me.
Oh, it doesn't have to be like this.
She
It
says
doesn't have to.
It does.
No, please.
She's gonna... Oh, I only have one hand. She's going to just lean above him and with her fingertips while holding the blade, she's gonna brush his hair out of his face and say, I'm sorry.
No, come on. You haven't done it yet. It's still time to go back. We can talk about this. We can make it right. I won't tell anybody.
It was done knowing what she said.
And she's gonna put the blade right under his chin and just push it up into his head in a sharp motion, hopefully killing him in one hit.
As he feels the blade begin to enter, you just hear him say, No, please! And he is stilled.
She'll stand up and just drop the dagger and turn and look at the master.
Well done. You found the right man. You followed my orders without question. For once since our arrangement, Lorna Halloweth, I am pleased.
Thank you.
Now, she looks at you and how you've dressed up, and she says, Without magic, you certainly turned to interesting forms of persuasion, but you did the job efficiently. I will remember this. Now, to deal with this. She leans down onto one knee. She places a bag at the top of Yuli's head. And with one sweep with her fingers, the whole body into the bag. She picks up the bag again, ties it onto her belt, looking down at the mess of blood that was rapidly expanding from the dagger. Do they ask questions here?
I'm sure with the right amount of money, no one will ask questions.
That's true. I'll have a conversation with the owner. Now, as for you, you've done well. And I know, from what I've heard and seen, Lilith and your friend Tane served you well. As an asset of mine, using what resources are available to you is very valuable. This has been an exciting excursion. Thank you for making my visit to your humble little town exciting, interesting, and even a little fun.
Memorable.
Oh, yes. Some things I'm sure we will never forget. And she looks down at your stub and she says, maybe we'll do something about that soon.
I'd be grateful.
In the meantime, I don't envy how you get on clothes.
I've got a service animal. And Markroom's just gonna poke his little head out.
Everyone has their uses, I suppose. On this note, Lorna, I bid you farewell, as duties back home are calling. I will miss you. It has been quite fun these last day. Oh, a job well done requires payment. And she holds out her hand to you.
I take it.
You are holding a pouch with money in it. You don't know how much.
Whoa.
Thank you.
You are welcome. Tell Lilith I said you did well, and that she should aspire to do the same.
Yes, Master.
Cameron, Douglas. And she holds out her hands. Two individuals suddenly appear. And with a sudden burst of air, all three are gone.
Fuck.
You stand alone in a room
Uh-huh.
where you've just murdered a man.
Yeah.
It's Lorna's first kill.
Lorna's first kill.
That's fucked up, man.
How you doing?
I think Lorna is white-faced and nauseous.
As you stay in this room for a moment. How long do you stay in the room?
I think enough time to count the money.
You hold a bag with 300 gold pieces in it.
Hell yeah.
Turns out murder pays.
Well, there's a reason she's in the business, right?
Right.
So she will
You
take
also
that time.
see
Go on.
in the bag is a small note on vellum. It's about this big. It's very small.
Uh-huh.
It is a business card.
Uh-huh.
It is a business card for Kraber's Arcanatech Prosthetics.
How nice of her to be thinking of me. Do I get the sense that that's a like nearby, or is that something I'm gonna have to travel to?
It is 100% a Ceresian business.
Maybe I
But
can
there is a
write a
mailing address on it.
Yeah, maybe I can write a letter. Okay. She'll just kind of like say, with no humor to the air, "Thanks so much."
There is no response from the
Yeah,
empty room.
yeah, that was, yeah. And she will leave to go back downstairs.
Roll me a perception check.
Yeah, boy. Natural 20.
You are
25.
careful not to step in the puddle of blood. As you leave the room, As you leave the room, you find Lilith and Tame seated at a table. They look up at you as you emerge, and you see Tame visibly perk up a little, and you see Lilith visibly relax. And then Lilith furrows her eyebrows.
I think Lorna would make eye contact with them, and then she would gesture her with her head toward the door and then walk out.
Okay. They would follow you. And as soon as you get outside, Lilith would say, Where's Yuli?
He's dead.
Oh,
Yep, that's what she wanted him for. She wanted him dead.
you brought him back just so she'd kill him?
There was other stuff.
Well, shit.
That was the end goal, though, so...
All right.
I'm not saying this because I want to be an asshole. She specifically told me to tell you this, but she said that I, quote, pleased her and that you should aspire to do the same. Sorry.
Lilith rolls her eyes and she says, I will do my best.
Yep. I just, I'm trying to do this whole thing where I do what she says and then maybe I'll keep the rest of my limbs.
Yeah, that's fair.
How much do you think a prosthetic or hand will cost me?
I have no idea.
Not even like a ballpark guess.
Lorna's from Sarah's. Does she know how much?
Your answer would be the same as Lilith's answer. Like,
Just,
for a basic one, maybe like 75 gold. A fancy one, maybe significantly
that's
more.
not bad. I got paid cash money. I'll be able to afford this.
Well, a basic one is basically just, it's a wooden hand. Like, it doesn't do anything.
Oh, well, okay. All right.
A more advanced one that might be able to do somatics and stuff like that could be more expensive. It's the sort of thing that you'd need to look into.
Case by case. Well, I'm sure Tabernac might be able to help me. That's where she's going to go next.
Okay, that's fair.
She's leaving. She left. She's not here anymore, so I guess you don't have to pretend to be buddies with me.
Look. All right. You're the only one who knows more of my story. And I did just watch you get your hand cut off. So,
It happened. Yes.
again, I don't hate you. I just think you're annoying.
Right.
All right, I'm going to go sleep.
Okay.
This has been a hell of a week.
Yeah.
Are you all right?
I'm sure at some point, someday, maybe in a couple of years, I will be.
You look different.
I lost a little bit of weight. She's going to lift her hand up.
No, you look like something else.
Everything about me is different than it usually is right now.
All right. Well, I'll see you tomorrow. I'm going to go pass the fuck out. And Lilith marches off toward the Marigard Academy. Tame, who's looking at you, says, I don't know you well enough to know if you look different, but this all seems real fucked up.
Yeah, that was... Sorry you had to see all that. In a sense.
It's all good. This has been, well, I haven't really had to protect you from anything, but I don't think I could protect you from that, even if it was my job.
No, and I definitely didn't expect you to... You would literally be throwing your life away if you tried to stand up to her, which I don't want that blood on my hands. I already have enough blood on my hand. I have to talk to Tabernac.
All right. You want me to come? Well, I gotta come.
Yeah, we might as well do that together.
All right.
Fuck.
Let's go. You make your way toward the Marigard Academy. As you head up to Tabernac's classroom...
Still in my sexy Lorna clothes.
Are you?
Yeah, she didn't
Alright.
change back. Like, I don't want to go to Tabernac and ask about hands.
You head straight... You head straight up to Tabernac's classroom. Tabernac He's on his stage as usual. As you enter, there is no sign of Callie or Hal.
Okay.
You make your way over to the balcony and you see Tabernac busy with all sorts of paperwork and parchments, and he doesn't look up, but he does say,
Welcome, Lorna. As always, it is a pleasure.
I have a couple questions if you have.
I have one for you. Are you here to work? Because if you are, I will be yelling at you.
No.
All
These are
right.
more personal questions.
Very well.
and Tabernac closes the scroll that he was working on. He rolls it up and it slides to the side and he looks up.
You have been injured.
Oh, yes.
Vitally.
I'm not dying, though, so, glass half full.
What happened?
I made someone angry.
Someone who would dare harm a student of the Marigot Academy?
I don't think that means much to her.
I assume you are referencing our uninvited guest from yesterday.
Yes.
Right.
So, I, would like your advice on casting magic in my current predicament until I can fix it.
Well, casting magic with one hand is no true limitation. It just requires a little bit of practice. I would recommend you try and find yourself an arcane prosthetic, one
Oh,
that
she
can
gave me a
read.
business card.
How kind of her.
That's what I said. How much do you think this is gonna run me to be able to perform the gestures that I need to cast magic?
For a magical prosthetic that can channel the weave, it will be infused with banasite or diamond dust, depending on the creator, which will also determine the cost. But I would imagine maybe 200 gold pieces.
Hey, that's fine. She paid me enough, to replace it, so, she's really very generous.
I did ask you before not to lie to me.
Well, it's not a lie that she paid me enough to pay for the replacement.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think they'll be able to get it here pretty soon?
If you order one, I imagine they would require some measurements. They would build the prosthetic, depending on your specifications, and then send it your way. So, at best, maybe a week. More likely 2 to 3 weeks.
Do you mind being a little lenient on me during classwork until I get the replacement? It's just as far as the real performative stuff comes.
It is a valuable skill to be able to cast spells with one hand.
I'll practice, but I'm not going to be perfect right away.
You're not perfect anyway, Lorna.
Great, thank you. I needed that today.
You are asking me to lie to you.
I promise you that you'd be much more successful at it.
I will not flatter you with false pretense.
Great.
I will tell you the truth, Lorna, as I always have.
Could you help me take the measurements? Because I only have one hand.
Yes,
Thank you.
I will assist you in ordering a new hand. Do you have a preference as to color?
I kind of want it to be made out of wood,
Easy enough.
but like really sleek, with like metal joints.
I am certain any prosthetician could handle such a request. Let me see where it was removed.
unwrap it.
Mm-hmm. This is the first time you've looked at it since it was wrapped.
Uh-huh.
It is dark. The injury was cleanly cut and cauterized. It looks almost as though it was burnt flesh. Tabernacle looks at it.
I am surprised you are not in more agony than you appear to be.
Mellow thistle.
A good call, I think.
Right. I just happen to have some on me.
Well, make sure you have plenty to last you the week. Additionally, request a ration of healing potion from Sekka to apply to that wound, as that will help the flesh regenerate.
Understood.
Finally, sit still.
She does.
A mage hand and an unseen servant tend to and wrap a ruling tape all around the wound and measure your wrist, the length from the elbow to the end of your forearm, where the cut is, and the circumference of it.
How much? How much? Can you show me on your arm?
It's right here.
Okay.
It's
so
right
like below
before
the wrist.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right.
He takes the measurements.
I will handle this, I think, would be best.
Sure. Do you need the business card?
No. Believe it or not, here at the Merigard Academy, we have handled the ordering of prosthetics before.
Do a lot of students lose their limbs?
Not a lot, but it does happen.
Probably not in this way.
No.
No, sorry, I'm trying to make this less shitty than it feels.
I will attempt to expedite the process. But
Thank you.
I do think learning to cast magic with one hand is a valuable skill. So, while I will not be having you perform any combat practice, you will be expected to study as you have always done. And now, you should go to sleep. You need to rest. But before you do,
Tabernacle reaches out toward you and touches you with a claw. You feel the pain that is even lingering behind the mellow thistle suddenly vanish. You feel a euphoria, as if everything that was bothering you is gone, and you feel almost giddy but sleepy.
What did you do?
an old trick of mine. One I learned from another dragon. Now, off to bed.
Okay. Tame, can you help me?
Yeah, I got you. And she slides over and like puts an arm under your armpit and helps you.
She would have to
Support
stoop really low. She might as well just pick me up.
I think she would probably come to that conclusion,
Uh-huh.
and then she would say, "Oh, all right," and
She's
she would
2
just
feet taller than
she
me.
would just fireman's carry you.
Okay. This is nice too.
Good night, Lorna.
Good night, Tabernacle.
And thank you, Tame, for your unending patience, it seems.
And as Tame is climbing the stairs, she just says, "Yep." And that is where we're going to stop today's session. Yeah, bruh?
She cut off my hand.
She cut off your hand.
Bruh. So when you said she was mad, you weren't like fooling?
I was not fooling.
Oh man. The consequences of my actions.
Here they are.
Boy, you keep every session. You keep giving me reasons to update my fucking character references. Stop it. That's enough.
You're the one that pissed off the master. I'm sorry.
It was
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you all
let
for
him-
watching this episode of From Nothing Lorna's Story.
where Lorna's day goes from bad to worse every session.
Oh boy.
Tyr's gonna get it when I see him.
Oh, okay.